Okay, let's talk about Japanese GP qualifying, because what we just witnessed at Suzuka was absolutely insane. We are breaking down the 5 moments that I guarantee nobody saw coming.
So, let's start with this. Max Verstappen, over his team radio, just called his own Red Bull complete rubbish. Yeah, you heard that right. And believe me, he meant every word of it.
The four-time world champion, the guy who has dominated this sport, was knocked out in Q2. He didn't even make it into the final top 10 shootout. I mean, that's a result you just can't wrap your head around. And while the champion was out, a 19-year-old rookie, Kimi Antonelli, put his Mercedes on pole position for the second race in a row. The contrast between those two stories is just, wow.
So how in the world did we get here? How did all this chaos unfold? Well, let's get into it. Here are the 5 moments from an unforgettable qualifying session. All right, first up, let's talk about the man at the very front of the grid, the Mercedes rookie, Kimi Antonelli. He has done it again. After that incredible performance in Shanghai, he's just secured back-to-back pole positions.
And check out the time that did it. A 1 minute 28.778. At Suzuka, one of the trickiest, most legendary tracks on the calendar, that is just an unbelievable lap. Absolutely lights out.
But it wasn't just the pole time. Look at that gap. He was almost 0.3 of a second faster than his teammate, George Russell, who is no slouch. That's not just a narrow victory, that's a huge statement. A dominant 1-2 from Mercedes, led by the rookie.
Now, for anyone who might be kind of new to this, all this action went down in Q3. You can think of it as the final high-stakes top 10 shootout. It's 13 minutes where the 10 fastest drivers go all out for that #1 spot on the grid.
So you really have to ask the question, right? At just 19 years old, after only a handful of races, is Antonelli already one of the best qualifiers in all of Formula One? I mean, what a thought.
But, while Mercedes was celebrating, another top team was left just scratching their heads. So let's talk about McLaren, because after looking so strong on Friday, they came into qualifying expecting big things. I mean, on Friday, Oscar Piastri was the fastest driver out there. McLaren looked like they were the only team that could really take the fight to Mercedes. And then Saturday came, and when it really mattered, that speed just seemed to disappear. Now, Piastri still managed a pretty solid P3, you can't be too mad at that, but for the defending champion Lando Norris, P5 is a huge letdown. It's just the continuation of what's been a really tough, kind of painful weekend for him.
So that sets up the big question for race day, doesn't it? Can McLaren somehow find that missing pace and actually challenge Mercedes for the win? Or was today their best shot and they just missed it? All right, moving from one disappointed team to another. Let's talk Ferrari. They rolled into Suzuka thinking they had a real shot at winning this thing, but instead, they're starting the Grand Prix way on the back foot. So here's how it shook out. Charles Leclerc could only get his car into 4th, and his teammate Lewis Hamilton is all the way back in 6th. They're actually split by Lando's McLaren, putting them on the 2nd and 3rd rows of the grid. And starting that far back, I mean, that's a huge strategic problem. From P6, Lewis is going to need an absolutely perfect strategy, maybe a little bit of luck, or for one of the 4 guys ahead of him to make a big mistake to even get a sniff of a victory. So what do you think? Does Ferrari have the pure race pace to fight their way through the field? Or are the leaders just going to be too far down the road before we even get to the first round of pit stops?
Okay, it's time. Let's get to the biggest story of the day. The one that sent absolute shockwaves through the entire F1 paddock. We have to talk about Max Verstappen's total humiliation.
And there it is, that raw, unfiltered emotion. This is what Max told his team right after his final lap in Q2. Not that it was bad, not that it felt slow. He said it was completely undrivable. You can just feel the anger and total disbelief in his voice.
So, what does a Q2 elimination really mean? Well, it means you weren't even fast enough to get into that final battle for pole. It means you're starting the race outside the top 10, stuck right in the middle of all that chaotic traffic.
And here it is, in black and white. P11. For Max Verstappen and Red Bull, a team that has been practically unbeatable for years, starting from 11th on the grid is nothing short of a complete and utter disaster.
I mean, look at this. This slide tells the entire story of the day. You've got a 19-year-old rookie starting from pole position and the 4-time world champion, one of the greats, starting all the way back in 11th. It's a massive shift in the F1 universe. Just truly shocking. And hey,
If you are enjoying this qualifying breakdown, do me a favor and hit subscribe on PitCrew TV right now. That way you will never miss our Japanese GP race reaction, which is dropping tomorrow.
So it really makes you wonder, is this just one really bad day at the office? Or is Red Bull's entire 2026 season already in some deep trouble? Is there any way Max can fight back from 11th tomorrow?
Okay, for our fifth and final point, we need to talk about the context for all this madness, and that is the new qualifying format. Because these new rule changes for 2026, well, they played a huge part in today's drama.
So here's the deal. The biggest change is how many drivers get knocked out. With 22 cars now on the grid, they eliminate 6 drivers in Q1 and another 6 in Q2 instead of 5. Yeah, Q3 gets an extra minute, but that bigger drop zone in the early rounds is the real game changer. And what that means is the margin for error is razor thin. It's basically gone. With one extra car getting knocked out in each of the first 2 sessions, even a tiny mistake or a car that's just a little bit off can send a superstar driver packing early. The risk is just so much higher for everyone on the grid.
Now, it definitely gave us some incredible drama today. You can't deny that. But what do you think? Are you a fan of the higher stakes of this new format, or do you think the old system was better?
So there you have it, 5 shocking moments from Suzuka qualifying. We had Antonelli on pole again, McLaren disappointed after all that Friday pace, Ferrari stuck on row 3, Verstappen eliminated and absolutely furious with his own team, and of course, a brand new qualifying format changing everything. Tomorrow's race starts with Mercedes at the front, but with Max starting from 11th, literally anything can happen. Which of these 5 moments shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one. And make sure you subscribe to PitCrew TV and hit that bell so you never miss our Japanese GP race reaction tomorrow. We will see you at Suzuka.